Russia is brainwashing tens of thousands of Ukrainian kids to get them to voluntarily fight against Ukraine as soon as they're old enough. And this has been well documented by multiple news outlets and investigators, including Yale's Humanitarian Research Lab here in the United States. But how does this work? How do you get Ukrainian kids to grow up and want to fight against their own country? Well, Russia has this program called Yun Armia, which is a military-style youth program. And in this program, the kids wear uniforms and they learn how to march and handle weapons and do first aid and other military skills like assembling and flying drones. Now, this kind of patriotic program that teaches kids to love their country and gives them useful life skills sounds innocent enough, and quite frankly, I think the US could benefit from this kind of thing. However, Russia's program has a dark twist that starts to make it look less like a cool Boy Scout program and more like a knockoff version of Hitler's youth program. And that twist is indoctrination, even from a young age. For example, let's take a look at this picture that Russia intentionally released. Again, this is something that Russia was proud of and actually wanted to show the public. In the picture, you see some preschool-age little girls looking at a mock-up of a battle scene. And these are girls who are in the Yun Armia program. And this battle scene that they're looking at represents the Russian capture of Bakhmut, which is a Ukrainian city. And in the scene, you'll notice multiple suicide drones. You've got residential apartment buildings blown in half and the Russian flag raised triumphantly on a building shot through with artillery. So from an early age, the Russian youth program is teaching even little girls to glorify the conquering of a foreign city. And by the way, if this seems insane to you, there's a lot more stuff like this going on in the world. And this is why I send out a free newsletter each week about what's happening right now in war and geopolitics. It takes just 5 minutes to read, and I promise you'll be more informed than 99% of other people. To get it, just click the link below or go to the overwatch.co. It's free. You can unsubscribe anytime. Okay, so the kids program is interesting and all, but what does that have to do with Ukrainian kids? After all, isn't this Russian program specifically designed for Russian kids? Well, this is where, again, things take another dark turn, because in the areas of Ukraine that Russia invaded, Russia brings the local Ukrainian kids under the same military program as well. And there are a lot of Ukrainian kids in this program. According to one official report, in just occupied Crimea alone, which Russia took from Ukraine in 2014, there are more than 58,000 children enrolled in the Yun Armia program. And that doesn't include the 16,000 kids in other parts of occupied Ukraine, or the thousands of Ukrainian kids who were taken to Russia, some of whom are now in the same program in Russia itself. And here's the thing, Russia isn't just teaching the Ukrainian kids how to fight. Russia is also teaching Ukrainian kids that they aren't Ukrainian at all, and that in fact they're really Russians. Never mind the fact that they live in Ukraine and speak Ukrainian and have Ukrainian last names. Russia teaches the kids to ignore all that, see themselves as Russian, and that Ukraine as a country is corrupt and run by a Nazi regime. Okay, but do Ukrainian kids actually decide to join the Russian army and go fight against Ukraine? Well, yes, this program is extremely effective. For example, here's a BBC article from 2026. In the article, reporters talked to a bunch of Ukrainian-born prisoners of war who were captured by Ukraine while they were fighting for Russia. And it says all the Ukrainian-born POWs we interviewed came from areas occupied since 2014, and almost all joined the Russian army voluntarily. So there you have it. Russia invades Ukrainian territory, teaches the kids how to fight and to hate their own country, and then those kids grow up and happily join the Russian army. So this is very real, and it's happening right now. And there are so many other things happening right now where not just Russia, but also China are not only trying to attack their neighbors, but also attack the United States. For example, right now, China is working directly with the Mexican drug cartels to kill Americans inside the US using drugs. And they work together using all these clever tactics to hide what they're doing. And if you want to learn about that, feel free to click the video that's on screen right now where I discuss that exact topic. Enjoy.